Okay, hi everyone, welcome to a new video and this type of podcast, I think it is. I don't know how to call it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because I think that I've been watching too many podcasts lately. So I just decided to do this type of format, trying this type of format. I even wrote a script. Like, I'm about to turn 21, and as Billy once said, 21 took a lifetime, so I have decided to write down 20 things that I've learned in my 20 years of life. Next year I probably will do 21. So I don't know, let's try this out. If you see me like squinting my eyes, it's because I can't see shit. I'm without my glasses because I got robbed. Or they tried to rob me but they couldn't. So yeah. So the first thing that I've learned, and this was quite recently, is the fact that drowning is drowning. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the ocean, it doesn't matter if it's in a river, or it's in a pool, or it's in a glass of water. Drowning is drowning. It's a fight, you know? And yeah, maybe there are like little things that might seem little to you or to someone else, but they are still weighting you down and making you feel sad and anxious and uncomfortable and yeah, I think that it doesn't matter how stupid the thing might seem, it is still hurting. And as I said before, it doesn't matter if you're drowning in a glass of water or in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, or somewhere even deeper. You're still drowning, and that's something that you should be aware of it. You know, like as you are compassionate about yourself, or should be compassionate about yourself, should also be compassionate for someone else. Like, understand that someone else, you know, like them, and if they need to talk, be there for them. Let's see. Also, I'm filming this in English because I'm trying to practice my accent and also my speech. The point of this video is solo el amor con amor se paga, nada te debo y tú no me debes nada. Or in English, as the Rosalia song Como Mujer says, only love is repaid with love. I don't know you anything and you don't know me anything. Yeah, I think that this quote kind of explains itself. I remember being conscious of it when I was like after a date with someone. We went to the cinema and I was disappointed because something that I wanted to happen did not happen. And I was like, yeah, but what's the point, you know? And then I realized that I was seeing this opportunity or this encounter or this like date or whatever as something transactional. And I realized that that's messed up and that's not nice, and that you shouldn't see something like that in that way, you know? Like, that's an ugly thing to do. The third thing that I've learned in my 20 years of life is the following. More like a month ago, I was talking to a friend and I was explaining something that happened like a while ago, like, no, actually a long time ago, like a year and a half or something like that. And he told me something really nice, and at the same time kind of like, okay, I don't like what you told me, but I know that you're saying it because you mean it and you want me to do better, you know, like, and that's also nice. But it was, don't take your life too seriously with what people say, with what people do. It's their business. And also, if you make peace with the fact that people will always say shit about someone at some point, and let's be real and be honest, we all talk shit about anyone at a certain point, about someone who is really stressing you out because they did this thing or they do that thing or anything. As you are talking shit about someone is talking shit about you, so don't take that shit personally. Always. The people will hate. I will hate. Like, dude, Kendrick Lamar literally won a Grammy hating on someone. It's natural. It's like, own your feelings, and every reaction has a consequence. Your reactions also have consequences, not only because you were reacting to what someone did or said to you, means that your reaction to that action has no consequence. And you should put your big girl pants on and assume those consequences. Like, and as I said before, own your feelings. Don't be afraid of feeling them. I normally tend to suppress anger or disgust or feelings that I'm not comfortable feeling. But as a really close friend always says to me, gracias, Isis, and always reminds me, own them. Own your feelings. She always tells me in English, because this happens in Spanish, but like, Own it. Nobody can help it. Know that it's wrong. Own it, girl. Own it. And then I got like, why? Because they won't disappear. They will be suppressed down another bunch of emotions that you have not been able to process. If you don't know how to say it, write it down. Yeah, this shit helps a lot. As I said before, I'm not really good with feeling my emotions, especially when they are negative emotions or are often associated to negative, with a negative connotation. But yeah, write them down. It's not necessary to know exactly what you're gonna write down, but when you just grab a piece of paper or even your phone, and start writing down whatever comes to your mind, at some point you will realize what are you feeling, or why are you feeling what you're feeling. Because sometimes we can understand that we're feeling certain emotion, but we don't know why. Why am I sad? I don't get it. Everything seems right. Everything seems normal. Is everything normal? We're like, really? Or you're deep down worried about something. Or someone did something that you couldn't understand, and now you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on with that person. So yeah. My hair is not hearing, like, lately. I think that my hair is kind of weird. I used to use my... There you are. There it is. And I look crazy. You should be careful with the people that surround you, even if you don't like them. You never know what's going on in their minds, in their lives. So I don't really support being hurtful to people or saying anything without previously processing it and knowing that what I'm saying is being said in the most respectful way, without also turning down the importance that thing that I have to communicate has on me. Like, I don't know if that had any kind of sense, but I hope you could understand what I mean. 7, be coherent, or at least try to be coherent. I know it's really difficult, and I also think that people can change their minds. That doesn't mean that because you say something you will always feel that way and be that way. But I think that if you choose to share with the world, with your friends, with your classmates, with anyone, your convictions and your ideals and your moral, let's say, you are literally putting chains on you to be coherent with what you're saying, with what you're sharing, with what you're doing, you know? So yeah, be careful what you say out loud, because especially if you are sharing things about morality and convictions, they will haunt you. Yeah, I do believe that you can also have the right to contradict yourself and change your opinions, but I also think that is way easier if you're not constantly labeling yourself and putting these convictions out publicly, you know? 8. Let's talk about 8. Not everyone needs to know everything about you. And as you can see, with me sharing what I have learned in 20 years of my life, I'm struggling with that. But yeah, I think that you shouldn't share everything, especially online, and especially with people that you know from a short period of time that you might consider your friends, or that they are starting to be considered your friends. 9. Creation heals us all. Draw, paint, write, sing, cook, I don't know. Create something, boy, girl, dude, mate, anything. Create something, you know? And also, if you don't want to create something, you can always read something, you can always go to a museum, go to a concert, be in creative spaces, you know? I think that that kind of stuff heals your soul and makes you human and can help you to understand things in a different perspective. Also, don't just... I mean, I read a lot, and I don't want to tell you what to read specifically. I think that if you are reading, I don't know, let's say a romance or a fiction or whatever, you are in your right, in your whole right. But I also think that sometimes I tend to get stuck in a genre, and I'm losing really interesting books that might not be fiction or might not be romance. So I think that you should read a little bit of everything, always. For example, now I'm reading a book written by Stephen Hawking, and I know shit about physics. But I was curious, and a friend lent me her book, and I'm reading it, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm understanding a lot of things, even though sometimes I have to reread the page 3 times. So yeah. Then number 10. Now we're in the middle of the list. Finally, take your time doing what you want to do. Don't feel forced to do something just because everyone else have done it before. It's not a it's not a competition. You do you, they do they. Also, don't turn shit into competition. Not with anyone. It only makes you miserable, actually. But I think that if you're going to want to compete with someone, that should be you, because you're making everyone miserable. Especially if, I don't know, let's say it's a friend, and you're losing that competition. That will hurt you, because you're losing the competition that you created in your head and that person doesn't know. And maybe you're gonna hurt that person without knowing, or without being conscious that you're hurting them, because you got rage against them because they are winning in your competition that you created in your own mind. I don't know if that has any kind of sense, but yeah. 11. There is a difference between honesty and being rude. There is a way to say what you want to say, and I don't think it's healthy to say whatever comes to your mind about a situation and then saying, oopsie, I was just being honest. No, girl. You were being rude or even cruel, and you're justifying yourself with saying what you wanted to always said by saying, oh, sorry, I was just being honest. Girl, no. And you know it. You know it fucking too. Because you didn't care about how the person will feel. You just wanted the relief of saying what was your opinion on the topic. You know? That's why it's just writing it down. Because when you write something down, I think you can literally explain it or say it in the words you want. And when you read them, you realize the power that those words might have on someone else. For number 12, be mindful of who you invite to your home. It's your sacred space. Especially if you don't know them well, their energy can change your space, or it will be affected, you know? I think that each home has its unique energy, and that's so fucking hippie, but yeah, I mean, your place has your energy, and you don't want everybody's energy into your home, because it's a place where you rest, where you want to be quiet, where you want to be chill and relax, and yeah, I mean, you may know faces, but you may not know their true intentions, or yeah, you may not know their true intentions. That doesn't mean that everyone is bad and awful. And for number 13, I think that you don't have to wait for your friends to want to do the same as you, or the same thing as you, and you shouldn't let their fears become your own fears, you know? You don't have to wait for your friends to share the same interests or goals before pursuing what you want to do or what excites you. I think that I have lost a lot of opportunities of doing things that I really wanted to do just because I didn't find someone that would want to do the same thing as I wanted to. And I've lost those instances, and I think that what I could have obtained from them are way bigger than my fear of being by myself or alone in certain situations, you know? Also, what I was saying about fears, everyone has their own fears and limitations, and it's important to not let those external limitations and fears become your own. 14. Don't expect people to know why you're mad if you don't tell them. Why will they know? Communication is key in every single relationship or a situationship. Communication is key, and it's fun for me to say this because I'm just kind of hypocrite. Hypocrite? I don't know how to pronounce that word, but hypocrite, I think. In a sense, but I think that I have no right to get mad at that person because I have not been able to communicate effectively. So they are not able to do anything about it because they just don't know that I felt this way or that way. So yeah, communication is key with everyone. Also remember that actions have consequences. If you don't communicate your expectation, how will people know about them? For number 15, your friends will have your back as long as you communicate with them. Communication, again, is key. That doesn't mean that you make their problems yours or your problem theirs. That just means that if you're working together, let's say in a classwork, and you are just really and you just can't with your life right now, communicate with them, tell them, especially if you have worked with them before, you know, and they are close friends. I'm gonna tell them, you know what, I don't feel good enough, can you please help me? Or can you please just do this, and then I will do the other one in the other classwork. And that has worked for me. And maybe I shouldn't say this on the internet, but yeah, I think sometimes you have to do more, or other people will have to do more, and not every single classwork or university work or anything will be 50-50. Sometimes you cannot give your 50%. Sometimes you will give, I don't know, 20% or 30%, and other times you will have to give your 70% to help someone else. It's just a thing that I think it's quite useful, to have that kind of confidence with your friends, and that kind of closeness with them, to just for them know when to help you out, and for you to know when you should help them out. That way you avoid a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, and also they will feel secure enough to rely on you when they need help. I think that's also important. Now 16. It's quite fun, this one, because I relate. Being alone is great, and also talking to your therapist. Why? Why do I mean with that? Living alone is not horrible, even though it can be a little bit scary at first, especially if you're not in the right mental place for you to be alone for a long period of time. And that's why I think therapy is really important. I know it's hard, like therapy is hard because it's really expensive, and also because some people may not feel comfortable sharing their problems with someone. That's why I also recommend a lot of journaling and writing down whatever you feel, or 3 things that you're grateful for, even though it seems impossible to think in 3 things that might be nice during the day when you're feeling awful. But yeah, I think those kind of exercises of gratitude, and also like of writing down whatever you're feeling without caring or without minding your grammar or punctuation, or even writing them in another language if you speak 2 languages or more. I think it's really useful. And that might not be really helpful to say out loud, but I think that for bilingual people, talking in their second language is talking about emotions in their second language is way easier, because somehow you can detach from them. I will recommend it to some extent, but at the same time I wouldn't fully, because you should be able to process your emotions in your native language too. And that's why therapists are important. But if you can't, and you're stressed and you're feeling like shit, write it down. It doesn't matter if it's in English, Cantonese, Spanish, Italian, French, whatever. Just write them down. And yeah, and if you need to talk to someone, go to a therapist and talk with them, and they have the tools, the right tools to help you out in those situations in which you don't know what to do with your own life. For number 17, sorry, I think that spirituality is quite important. And with that, I don't mean like a certain or a specific religion or path or anything. I think that what I mean is questioning yourself about those topics. What do you think about God? What do you think about if there's life after your death? Do you think that you will reborn and become someone else, or if your soul is trapped into your body? What do you think? What comes to your mind with those kind of questions? I think that with questioning yourself in that way will allow you, or will help you to realize and know other versions, or not versions, but like other perspectives that you might have on things, and I think that's quite important. For number 18, what are the values that you value the most? That sounds fun, but what are the things the values that you think that you have made yours? What are the things that you will accept on someone, or what are the things that you won't accept on someone, and what are the values that you want the people that surrounds you to have, and what are the things that you will let them pass, in the sense that they may not share the same every single value that you have, but they may, I don't know, support you with a certain characteristic that you think it's important for you. I don't know if it has sense, but I think you can understand what I'm trying to say, or where I'm trying to go with what I'm saying. And yeah, for number 19, I support girls' right and wrongs. I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't. And by that I don't mean that I will judge you if you make a mistake, but I won't let you justify your mistakes with I'm just a girl, or I'm not gonna applaud you for doing something that you are doing consciously to hurt someone, or I don't know, if you're cheating on someone, I won't applaud you that. I'm gonna tell you that I think that you're doing something wrong and you shouldn't do that, and why are you doing that, and I'm gonna question yourself, but it's not because I want you to feel bad, but because I want to understand what's your train of thought behind doing that action. And also I think that if I'm making a mistake, I want the people who surrounds me to being able to tell me that they think that I'm doing a mistake. And yeah, I think that doesn't mean that I will take what they say. I think that means that they will bring me a new perspective into the actions that I'm doing that might not be good, you know. And I'm not realizing that those actions are not good. Or maybe I just realize that what I'm doing is exactly what I want to do, and even if it doesn't seem okay, I'm gonna do it anyways, you know. But yeah, I want to see other people's perspective on what I'm doing wrong, because I want to improve myself. I want to do better. I want the people that surrounds me know, or I want them to want being a better person. And for the final piece of advice, thing that I've learned, I don't know, are actually two things that I'm gonna just put together. One is the fact that it's okay to mess things up. It's okay to screw it. I mean, we will always be wrong at some points in our lives, or do something bad at some points of our lives, even if it's unconsciously. And sometimes I think that we just live so full of fear that we just stop living our own lives. And yeah, that's how I will link it to the second thing that I've learned. And I just learned that yesterday. Be proud of what you do. Why am I saying this? Because I just erased a lot of videos in my channel, not realizing that I was permanently deleting them, and now I cannot get them back. I just recovered 2, I think. 2 out of 5, but those were my memories, you know? I still have some videos or clips from those videos somewhere in my computer, but still, you know, I lost those things that I have worked on because I was scared of people judging me because of those videos. And even if those people were my friends, or are my friends, which is even dumber. I don't know if it exists, that word, but which is even more stupid, you know, because yeah, they will laugh at me, or maybe bully me for a bit, but they are doing it with love, you know. So yeah, be proud of what you do. Be proud of the things that you're trying out, because everyone is trying it out. Everyone has a dream. Everyone, especially with creative things, like if you sing, or if you edit a video, or if you do any type of content creation, and if you decide to share it, don't bully people, don't be mean to people. Also, maybe my friends weren't even gonna bully me for doing what I was doing, but it mortified me, and it made me like feel vulnerable and insecure, and I didn't want that, so I decided to delete them. And now, when I realized that I've deleted those videos instead of just putting them private, I never know how to pronounce that word. I regret it. I regret it a lot, because I really love those videos. But still, those are the consequences of my actions. And that's it. Thank you for listening to these lessons that I've learned. I hope that at least one of those helps you, and or maybe don't, and maybe you're thinking that I'm just stupid and I know nothing about life, which is also true. But I don't know. I just hope that if you heard something that resonated with you, or that may help you, leave a comment down there with this emoji, or maybe not just with this emoji, but just say what you think down below. And also, if you think that maybe I should hear a comment or a lesson that you have learned in your life, it will be fun for you to put it down there, and maybe it's not just for me, but for everyone who sees this video. And yeah, thank you for listening, and remember that you are loved, that you're valuable, that you're important. Remember that it's everyone's first time living, and we're doing what we can. So be nice to people, be nice to you too, because sometimes we are nice to people, but we are not nice with us. And that's it. Just peace, love, and see you next time with another video. Bye bye.